Solasta 2 went into early access back in March, and now that we're 3 months in, I finally had enough time to take a proper look at this game and tell you everything you would want to know before buying. What has changed since launch, what is still the same, and what hasn't even been touched yet. Let's get into this. First off, very quickly, what is this thing? Solasta 2 is the sequel to Solasta Crown of the Magister, made by the same team, and it's a turn-based tactical RPG built on the D&D 5.2 rule set. So basically a Dungeons and Dragons style system under the hood, similar to Baldur's Gate. You're also building a party of 4 adventurers from scratch and sending them off to the continent of Neokos, where a mystery enemy named Shadwyn is spreading some kind of corruption across the land. We don't want to constantly compare this to Baldur's Gate 3, but the game does lean pretty hard into that Baldur's Gate feeling, just so you get an idea of the game. There's lots of talking NPCs, branching dialogue options, and also full voice acting on pretty much everyone. Where the game does split from something like Baldur's Gate is in how grounded it stays to the tabletop rules. The combat of course is turn-based, properly turn-based. You're managing action economy, advantage, sneak attacks. Solasta 2 focuses heavily on the rules as written philosophy. It tries to faithfully replicate tabletop mechanics, including restrictive concentration checks, the strict long-short rest rules, and the specific ready actions. While Baldur's Gate 3 does embrace a more video game friendly approach, it is heavily based on D&D as well, but Larian Studios significantly homebrewed the rules. This includes, for example, the bonus action, and also stuff like altering spell ranges. Outside of fights, you're free to just wander the map, sneak past enemies if you'd rather avoid a fight, manage rations on long tracks, and take short rests to patch people up. It is slower paced, which won't be for everyone honestly, but if you like the first Solasta, then the rhythm of it should feel familiar. One thing worth mentioning, the character creation here goes further than simply picking a class and a face. Each character also gets assigned a family role, like the golden child, or the one who's always getting blamed for stuff. And of course, this actually changes how they banter with each other. A small touch, but it does help make your party feel a bit more like an actual family, instead of 4 strangers who met 5 minutes ago. Now what are you actually getting at launch? The early access release shipped with 6 classes, 13 subclasses, 4 ancestries, and a level cap of 4, so it's a slice of the full game still. As for what has changed since March, the biggest one by far is the character creator Overhaul, which just dropped as what the devs are calling update 0.5. And it's a pretty big swing for something that wasn't even originally planned. This early, they added a new preset selection screen, with twice as many presets as before, over 20 new sliders you can fine-tune, a body morph feature, so your fighter for example can actually look like they lift something heavier, and also 5 voice pitch options, so the characters don't all sound the same. They also added a character collection, meaning you can save a character you built. This honestly should have probably been there from day one, but hey, it's there now. On top of that, there's been a steady stream of bug fixing. Your save files that used to crash on load got patched, a handful of cutscene glitches got cleaned up, and the annoying gamepad issues around saving and loading were fixed. The combat got at least some attention too. For example, the rogue subclass had its sneak attack scaling fixed. The smite effects were sometimes just not triggering. What hasn't moved yet though? The localization is still a bit rough. The developers themselves said there are still some leftover text tag errors. There is no multi-classing option right now. And of course, the level cap hasn't budged from 4. Multiplayer isn't in yet either. That is not landing until later this year. And the same goes for a proper crafting system and the start of Act 2, both of which are still a ways off according to the roadmap. So where does that leave things? The game is technically in a noticeably better spot than it was at launch, especially if the character creation was ever a sticking point for you. But if you're after a full finished campaign and multi-classing, then this one still has some road ahead of it.